So the posture for this week is Viparita Shalabhasana. This is a very advanced, very difficult posture. So I'll give you a couple of modifications for it. For me, it is my most scariest posture. I've had 5 neck dissections, and this is the one space that really, throughout my process with my cancer, had really frightened me. I stayed away from it. Still kicking up into this space scares me a little bit, and I'll show you how I really do sort of struggle with kicking up into it and having control of it. I think what's really important to remember more than anything in your asana practice is that if you're present in your practice, you have to know that it's always changing. So what I could do, what my body could do 25 years ago is not the same as what it can do now. You know, I'm not able to wrap my leg around my head 5 times anymore or pick my nose with my toes. I've had babies, I've had cancer, yada yada. Life happens. So some things are more open, other things are not. I do know in the space of my practice that my soul in 25 years has grown tremendously. And what I do have is a safer practice. And I think a practice that's very, very soulfully smart. Thank you to my teachers as well as this practice in general and the way that I was taught and the way that I was taught to view the practice. If we're truly being present, we're not putting yesterday's, last year's, 25 years expectations on what we're able to do now. So the point is, be in your body. Let it do what it's able to do. Nurture it from space to space. Don't push, don't bully. Just be sweet to it. Because the more that you learn, the more you're humbled by your own practice, the more gracious we are as students, as teachers, as people. So I think if we ever get to that space where we go, yoga, nailed it, we're in big trouble. Nobody nails it. And this is one piece. This is asana, right? One piece, one of the 8 limbs. Mental, spiritual, emotional, all of this has to come into play. Nobody gets to master yoga until you're floating off the floor and floating, then you're gone, right? So be gentle, be kind. I like to use my yogi toes at the edge of my mat because I can plant my chin, I can set it up, and then slide my chin underneath me to get up and through it. Remember, it's bandhas. Everything is bandha. Everything amazing begins at muah bandha. It's the truth. So pelvic floor lifts, everything connects, and then you can begin to find your space. So where I like to play with this from is hamshasana, because I feel much safer coming up and into it this way than I do kicking in, like I said. So we'll play. As I set my hamshasana, chin down. So if you're not even close to this posture and you're maybe starting to conceptualize what it might be like or feel like, start in this puppy dog space. And as you're in it, think of reaching not only the chest, but the armpit chest toward the floor very sweetly. If I'm going to play with the idea of kicking, I always tell my students, feel free to laugh out loud. You can always laugh at me as you're watching. I laugh all the time in my own practice, you have to. I start in my puppy dog space, planning on I do not like that at all. I feel way less control doing it that way. So, like I said, I'll play with that every now and again, but it feels different to me. And the difference is how it feels in my spirit. You know, if there's an approach that creates fear, it's probably not your best approach. If there's an approach that makes you feel fairly safe, that's probably the approach to stick with. All right, play. Shanti.